Out of all the new EX cards from Shining Revelry, Pikachu is my favorite. The one-hit wonder. Pikachu's Thunderbolt enables him to one-hit KO the majority of EX Pokemon in the game. There's a catch though. After this attack, all of Pikachu's energy vanishes. Unlike other Pokemon who build up energy to then unleash powerful attacks, Pikachu is meant to attack once. And I love this about him. We have a basic Pokemon that can guarantee a kill, yet we have to be very wary of when to use him. It's like an ultimate attack in an anime. Pikachu is our Spirit Bomb. The question is, how do we get to the point where his Thunderbolt will end the game? My first Pikachu deck paired him with the Magnezone evolution line. Magneton's Volt Absorb builds up energy on its own so we can place energy onto Pikachu. This deck performed decently, but today's deck is far superior. Today's deck combines two one-hit wonders, whom we ramp onto with Pachirisu. Luxray is perhaps one of the most underrated Pokemon in the game. Volt Bolt will allow us to deal 120 damage to any Pokemon on the field. In the standard Giratina Darkrai matchup, we can use Luxray to one-shot Dreagon to then checkmate our opponent, as once they send either EX to the front line, Pikachu will be waiting to obliterate them. Pachirisu is a key component of this build, allowing us to chip away at the opponent's lead while ramping energy onto our heavy hitters in the back. Pachirisu's plasma attack may seem inconsequential, but it can allow us to put 140 HP EX basics at range for Luxray's Volt Bolt to finish them off even if they're in the bench. Some games will be forced to attack with Pikachu first, and this is fine, as VOLKNER can recycle Thunderbolt's discarded energy to allow our Luxray to follow up immediately for the finish. To correct our opener and retreat Pikachu immediately after attacking, we run a full set of X speed. Red is essential with Pikachu, allowing us to score the one-hit KO on key meta EX basics who've equipped a giant cape. You can definitely tweak the deck to fit in a second copy of Red, as the meta is full of fat EX Pokemon that will attempt to cheat death. This deck is truly exceptional, definitely worthy as an off-meta option for your ranked climb. Click on the link in the description down below to head on over to tactor.com, where you can find all of my decks. What Pokemon should I build the ground next? You decide. Leave a comment down below, and we'll see what we can do. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. We post Pokemon Pocket decks here daily. Have a solid day, enjoy the games, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, here we go. Going first against Darkness, of course. We got the Pachirisu lead, and we got the Pikachu in the back to build up onto, as we have Giratina in front. Better to have Giratina than to face off against a Dreagon here. In case anybody's wondering, like, oh, why are you playing Pachirisu in this Pikachu deck, but you weren't playing it in the other? And, you know, the reason for that... Okay, good stuff. We have the X speed, so we can correct if they try to bring them to slow us down, and we do want to try to play a little bit around the potential like random Mars, so I am going to develop these two. The reason why I play Pachirisu here is because we're not like Pachirisu with the Magnezone evolution line is essentially redundant, right? Because ramping onto Magnemite doesn't really accomplish much because Magneton is already going to be ramping onto itself. So it only really works with Pikachu. But in this deck, we can use it to actually build up the Luxray evolution line as well. As we have a standard, you know, Giratina Darkrai matchup here. We're going to go for the Professor's Research once again, as we find red and that. Okay. I'm going to keep this Pachirisu in hand. I'm going to go for the energy onto Pachirisu, and I'm going to enable the Pikachu. We're still missing some components, though, so we got to think about things here. But I do want to enable the Pikachu first. Put a Rocky Helmet there, okay. Now that we draw into the Luxray, we may take a bit of a different approach. Because red will allow us to one-shot We should aim to leave Pikachu for the very end. This is tricky because I'm splitting out my energies here. They go for a Cyrus. We do have the X speed to correct that, fortunately. So now we X speed. And we place the energy on these two. So basically, even if they were to Cyrus again, they can't attack with Giratina and ping us with Darkrai the same turn. This is a tense situation though, because a giant cape onto the Darkrai in the back can really set us back. But instead, it seems like they're sending the Giratina to the back here, and they're sending Darkrai to the front. But now they play Leaf, they can't Cyrus or Sabrina again. They put an energy there and they just go for the attack with that. So that makes sense. But here's the thing. We have red. We have red, and red is absolutely essential here because it allows us to knock out the Darkrai. It effectively allows us to knock out the Darkrai without having to send Pikachu in and being vulnerable to them knocking us out. So we go for the Volt Bolt to the Darkrai in the front, and we one-hit KO it thanks to red. And now we have that free retreat into Pikachu EX, and the Giratina already has a Rocky Helmet onto it. And also, even if it has a Giant Cape, once it attacks, it goes down to 150 HP anyways. As is the usual when you face a meta deck like this, like it's gonna come down to the wire. But they just cannot avoid this. No matter what they do, they cannot avoid this. I have the free retreat cost with my Luxray. And we got an X speed there to boot. Pikachu is done with you. Oh yeah. Ah, beautiful. Very, very tight game, though. The Rocky Helmet was definitely a problem. And us not having VOLKNER as well, you know, we had to spread our energy. But a really good showcase of Pachirisu allowed me to spread out my energy and enable both of my heavy hitters right there. X speed being fundamental in this deck. It's very important for us to be able to pivot, especially because if we are attacking with our Pikachu EX early, then as we do this, we are left without energy, and we have to spend an energy onto it to be able to retreat with it. So the double X speed absolutely essential, even though we have a Luxray with a free retreat cost on top of that. This feels like a really, really nice shell for Pikachu. And it just shows, like, the Pokemon is just, like, really cool. It's underplayed because it requires a bit of a brain. Because it's kind of like a one-hit wonder sort of thing. Oh, that was nice. All right, round two. Round two. Going first again. Against Darkness again. We have the Pachirisu lead. Would be better if we were going, you know, second. I'm gonna go for the Pokeball first because I already have 2 basic Pokemon in hand, and the odds are we find Shinx anyways. And then we get to Professor's Research. I don't have X Speed though. So while this makes me play into a red card or a Mars, it's more likely that they run Sabrina. Sabrina is way more likely than a card like that in a deck like this. So I don't deploy my Pokemon immediately because I don't want an early game Sabrina to slow down my ramp, which is a way for me to like really like just... That would be very punishing, essentially. They play that in Giratina. They're going to put the energy onto Darkrai and go for the Darkness. Bellows, the space thing, the broken space. It's just a really odd name. I'm going to go ahead and... Okay, we do find that. We drop this Shinx. We drop the Pikachu as well. Now I have the VOLKNER combo, and I have a target with that Dreagon in the back. So our approach here is going to be a little bit different. The question is, do I develop this Shinx as well? I think I keep my options open since I don't have the Luxray yet, so I'm going to go for the Plasma here. Pachirisu's 70 HP is very relevant here. Worst case scenario is a Rocky Helmet, or them just retreating there. They heal the Darkrai in the back. We just have to knock out this Dreagon and then enable the Pikachu to knock out something else. We cannot really engage with this Pachirisu though. So my plan here is I need to knock out the Dreagon, and then Pikachu Red can knock out anything else. That's the plan here. I have to navigate around the Darkrai pings, basically. So now that I go down to 10, I have to pivot. Place the energy onto Luxray. I burned 1 energy retreating with Pachirisu. I can play another energy on Pachirisu retreat and VOLKNER to enable the Luxray immediately. And then Pikachu plus Red should be checkmate. That's the plan here. So now we place an energy here. We retreat onto Luxray. We VOLKNER. And we knock out the Dreagon. They Nightmare Aura. And they just stand there, but that doesn't work. Checkmate, baby. That was the approach. If you see Dreagon, you need to slow down, make sure the Pikachu is enabled. Just 2 energy on the Pikachu. And then focus on building up the Luxray. Through just retreating with our Pachirisus, we consume the energy and we're able to transfer it. And so we're able to enable the Luxray without losing any momentum whatsoever. And that's where the strength in this deck really lies. We back-to-back took the top tier meta deck and we dunked on it. So this is legit. Like, I'm really, really happy with this deck, with the distributions that I made. The red is absolutely fundamental. Sometimes I kind of think I should be running 2 copies of it, but you know, that's what Iono is for as well. But really, really good stuff. Go for another one. Round 3. Okay, we go second. Feels good. Against grass. All right, we do have Pachirisu. And we got Pokeball with Professor's Research. As they lead off with an Arceus. So they're probably like a version of Carnivine Arceus with either Meowscarada or Exeggutor EX. Exeggutor EX is more of a threat. But let's see. The last thing I want to see here is a Rocky Helmet. Okay, we got Luxio and we got Luxray already, so I'm going to go for the research first before going for the Pokeball to not thin my deck out of basics, so I have more chances to draw basics, and therefore find something like a Pikachu. We find another Pachirisu. Let's go for the Shinx. Let's keep the Pachirisu in hand, though. Keeping stuff in hand allows us to have more things to redraw with Iono. This could be a Pikachu. It is. So we do drop that. And we build up the Pikachu. Because we need to be able to threaten this Arceus effective immediately. Even though enabling the Luxray next turn is very appealing, I can always top deck a VOLKNER. They have a potion. And they have a giant cape. They have a second potion is the question. Interesting. We have the red to knock out the Arceus. So I'm going to send in Luxray and knock out the Carnivine in front. To bait the Arceus in because I have red in hand. That's the plan here. That's why I just sent this in immediately, even though I don't have a VOLKNER in hand. They don't know what I have, and they think I may have a VOLKNER. Like, VOLKNER is very, very expected here, so they want to get rid of this immediately. They have the perfect KO on it. It's just too juicy. It's too tempting. It's too... They can't not do it. And now we got the iconic duo, Pikachu and Red. Name a better team. I dare you. Oh, and there it was anyways. Oh, baby, here we go. Boom. For the intro! Got him. Mama, we got him. This deck is sick. This deck is actually really, really, really good. This guy is so underplayed, it's crazy. Oh my god. Alright. Second again. Don't mind if I do. Darkness. It's been darkness all day. We do have that Pachirisu lead, though. We don't want to deploy the Shinx. I always call it Sphinx. Because it could, they could, like, turn one Sabrina me, and that really slows me down. And I really, really don't want to let go of any sort of momentum here. Does make me relatively vulnerable to like a Mars if they were to have it. But a turn 1 Mars is just unlikely compared to a turn 1 Sabrina. Like I say this a lot. You gotta. It's all about probabilities, right? You gotta play around probabilities, and it's just more probable for them to turn 1 Sabrina me than it is to turn 1 Mars me, especially with 4 cards in hand. And now, I'm going to go for the Pokeball. See if I can pick up the Pikachu. If I can pick up the Pikachu, we're... Oh my goodness, we're good to go, ladies and gentlemen. We have the VOLKNER already, so we're going to focus on building up the Pikachu. To threaten a kill on this Darkrai. Let's see where they place their energy, because if they start placing the energy on the Darkrai in the back, we may switch up our strategy here. And focus on knocking out the Darkrai in front. I love seeing that professor's research. I'm a man of science, after all. Communication into beautiful. We have everything. Okay, so now things change. Now I want to be able to deal with this first and then send the Pikachu afterwards. I can put the energy here though, because I can't. No, but I could just like double up on that. I think this is fine. I can always VOLKNER to enable it, right? But the thing is, my Luxray has enough bulk to survive a hit from Darkrai anyways. Like 130 HP is no joke. And I can fire back-to-back Luxray attacks. So much Darkrai running around. But like any card, it is counterable, and there are ways to navigate around it. Let's see if they have a giant cape. They do. Placing it onto that Pokemon right there. Okay. Then I can take a different approach. Since I have VOLKNER, I can X speed to preserve this energy on Pachirisu in case I need to send it back in and just attack with it. I can send you in. And I can Volt Bolt into the Darkrai in the back, the one that they're building up. And now with VOLKNER in hand, I can finish it off. They need a Leaf. And even then, I'll be left at 30 HP. So they turned out to be Darkrai Weavile. There's just so many different versions of Darkrai. Like Darkrai Giratina, Darkrai Weavile. That potion is relevant. That giant cape is also relevant. I'm gonna snipe that with my boy VOLKNER. Oh yeah. Outta here. And now we have that finisher. that Pikachu. Pikachu is so... These two Pokemon just work so well together. This raw power, sacrificing energy in the process. The one-hit wonders. As now there's Weavile. Both of them. I think at this point I would like to go for Iono because I think the one thing that puts them out of range is basically healing. So I want to find red, but I want to be able to play red next turn. So I'm going to go for the Iono, hunting for that red. We've already played Iono, so now there's we have Pokemon Communication left in the deck, but we're gonna drop this Shinx. Energy onto Luxray. Pivot onto Pachirisu. Pachirisu attacks. That's why we preserve the energy. That's why we used the XP earlier, so you do this because I'm still at 30 HP, which means I do not succumb to a Nightmare or a Ping. And if they have a potion, they need a Pokemon Center Lady after this hit, because they've already played one potion. So that means that no matter what, they just cannot get outside of range for this Pikachu, and it's over. It's checkmate. Oh yeah. Clean! Clean! Damn, man, we're dominating here against top tier meta decks like Darkrai. I mean, it has... Well, no, the third matchup wasn't Darkrai, but oh my god. People are just playing the same thing. Y'all sleeping on this. This is a legit deck. Oh my god. Your favorite cookie. What are you playing, Cookie? Steel. Alright, we do have a Pikachu lead. That is a little bit unfortunate. But with Volkner, we can potentially like get a kill with Pikachu onto Arceus potentially, and then try to end the game with a like the moment they drop like something like a Shaman on the board, we can just snipe it with Luxray for the win. And because we're going second, we will attack before this Arceus. That's the synergy between like Pikachu EX and Volkner here. We're just automatically enabling the Luxray. Like what we need to do is we essentially need to find the pieces for Luxray. There's red. But we need to find Shinx and Luxray. Shinx first. There he is. Right now, everything is really fat, though, so this game plan may fall apart if they don't develop anything that has 120 HP or less. Without a doubt, that is a problem. Building up the Arceus in the back. So because of that, we want to weaken this Arceus in the front. Because we have red and Volkner. All we're missing is Luxray and honestly another basic Pokemon, so we're not vulnerable to Sabrina, but they have to leaf anyways. Okay, they try to Team Rocket grunt us out of nowhere. Doesn't work for them though, as they keep building up the Arceus in the back. And we just the thing is this plasma from Pachirisu is super key because we want to weaken this Arceus to a point where our Luxray will be able to finish it off. And I don't want to give them that information. So I'm gonna sneakily just build up the energy on the Luxio. They can't leave. They cannot leave and Sabrina on the same turn. Let's see if they have a giant cape. They do. We bring in Pikachu. Drop this Pachirisu in. What if they have a Mars? Like, if I play the Luxray, I just kind of like give them that. I'm worried about a Mars more than anything. But I really don't want to give them that information. I'm gonna go for the red and knock him out. I'm terrified about around the Mars here. I'm terrified of a Mars. But I think it's more likely for them to have healing. And I want them to place the cape or something that they may have onto the Dialga in the front. I don't want them to equip the Arceus in the back. I need that Arceus to remain at 120 HP, so I want the surprise factor to remain here. And they don't have Mars. Okay, I was terrified. Now we place the energy onto Pikachu. We evolve into Luxray. We pivot. And we got that sweet, sweet VOLKNER lethal, ladies and gentlemen. On this Arceus, we weaken to the back. Glorious. Glorious! Oh my, oh, this deck is beautiful. This deck is the dark horse of this. Oh my god, this deck is amazing.